So quite a few of you on YouTube and that have been asking, can you do a video and tell us what crossbow you use and what broadheads and bolts and whatnot? So here it is, but this is Mankung xb65. It's the same as the center point RAF 430, like literally exactly the same. So Mankung make center point crossbows. So Mankung are a factory, and then yeah, so they make bows for other companies, and then they just stick a center point sticker on it. So if you go down to Gun City, you'll pay $2,200 for a center point RAF, and it is identical to this. Same, it even comes with the same scope. I bought this scope. This is an aftermarket scope, but yeah, everything exactly the same as the center point. So I got this for $865 from Delta Mike in Invercargill. He's the cheapest I found for Mankung crossbows. But yeah, Gun City, $2,200 for the same thing, just with a different sticker on it. But anyway, I'm waffling. Yeah, so the stock scope, the Mankung stock scope is pretty crap, I'm not gonna lie. I dialed it in at 20, moved to 50, and it was hitting way low. But the scope is tuned for the light bolts that come with this. So, you know, it's supposed to be running 425 feet per second if you use the lightest bolt that they give you, which I wouldn't recommend because I used one and I snapped a string. But I use gold tip ballistics. They're 425 grain, just not focusing, but they're 425 grain when they're 22 inches, and then I get them cut down, so I think they're like 417 or something, and then a 100 grain broadhead. So I'm not running at 425 feet per second anymore. I'm running at about 350, I reckon, but enough. And the heavier bolts and heavier broadhead will pack a bigger punch with penetration. So I always get straight pass throughs. I've even had a straight pass through from the front to the back of the fallow. So, you know, it's gone through the neck, severed the spinal cord, and then come out its back leg. And then I'm using these fucking, this camera does not like focusing. I'm using these broadheads. These are Swacker copies. So Swacker's a US brand, and they're bloody good, expandable broadheads, but they're expensive. So I went on AliExpress because go China, gets rubber band off. So that rubber band holds them in, and then once it hits the animal, that's what you're dealing with. Two stainless steel blades there. I've never had an issue with them. With the actual Swackers, the official Swackers, I did have an issue with goats. I hit a little goat like straight through what should have been the heart area, from like 20 meters. But I think it was a small nanny goat, that small that the blades didn't get a chance to fully open before they, you know, I can't explain it. The width of the goat is probably fucking 10 inches in the middle because it's such a small goat. It went through, but the blades didn't open, so it didn't cause much damage, and there was no blood trail. Definitely hit it, got it on camera, so can't argue the camera. But yeah, come with 4-inch vanes. Whenever I order them, they seem to come with, you know, like sometimes I'll get yellow, sometimes I'll get green, sometimes I'll get pink. Maybe if I had pink, maybe red, I don't know. But I do prefer red, unfortunately, just because red or pink's easier to see. These yellow and greens, like, hard to see when you're in fucking yellowy tussock hay. Yeah, so I've killed, I shouldn't use the word killed, dispatched. I've had, how many animals I've had? Hang on, yeah, the scope. Sorry. Yeah, stock scope is crap. So I got this. This is a PSE HDV scope. Got a speed ring on it. So you see there, I'm set to about 350. See if we can get a video inside. that's what you're looking at. Yeah, and then you've got illuminated reticle out to 100. Does I knocked today on a rock, and since then it's been playing up quite a bit. Anyway, it's hard to see, I don't know if you can see that, but 20 down to 100. I think the furthest animal I've had with this is 66 yards, maybe. Yeah, and there's a fallow. Yeah, they're pretty accurate. What I sighted in at 20, but then it seemed a bit dodgy out to like 50, 60. So what I then did is zeroed it at 40, because I'm rarely within 40. Zeroed it at 40, and then I shot all the way out to 80. So I've shot out to 80 on the target, not further than that, and it's pretty accurate. Clarity of it's good as well, and the size of the aperture is good compared to the stock scope. But yeah, I got this from Crossbow, whatever it's called. Cost me $220 in total with shipping. Yeah, game changer, I'd say. Well worth the money. Stock scopes just don't cut it. They come with tiny little apertures, and you know, they're only set up for the speed that this is rated to when it's got a cheap shitty bolt on it. So by the time you've put your own bolts on, you know, you're going to want by the time you put your own bolt on, and this is going to change the speed, and as soon as you change the speed, well, then your scope's not up to scratch, is it? Yeah, I can't stress that enough, really. With a stock scope, you know, you're pretty good to 30, 40 yards. Yeah, but nah, this is, you know, I dropped a fallow deer at 63 yards. Like, dropped it on the spot, killed it straight through the base of its neck. Hit a goat straight through, double lung, tiny little nanny goat. Sorry, no, the nanny goat was 63 yards. The fallow was 50 yards. But yeah, tiny little nanny goat. I'll add the video clips in. And I've had two chamois. Had a chamois at 54 yards, I think it was, the other week. So I've had two chamois with this, and two fallow, heap of goats, and a red stag. But the red stag, I could have done it with anything because it was about 5 meters away during the roar, running towards me. So, have I had any other reds with this? I don't know. Yeah, and then before this, I had an EK blade, which I liked, but it wasn't very accurate past like 50 yards. Kind of, you're pushing it then. I didn't like it. It felt cheap. Yeah, wasn't keen on it. It was wide. The quiver was horizontal, which was catching everything. I like this, where the quiver runs down the length of the crossbow. The only thing I would say with this is the stock drops down far too steeply, as far as I'm concerned. It needs to go up here. I don't know whose fucking face they use, some fat man, to design this, but it should be up here, not down here. So I put these foam pads on, and I put one on the back, because, you know, I'm 6'2", so I guess I've got longer arms and longer shoulders and whatever. But yeah, that was a game changer. When I didn't have that on, I kept hitting high, because, well, I can't tell you why. I guess just how it was sitting with me, my face being low, and then trying to lift my head, and I'd shoot and it whoop, and I'd always hit high. So yeah, that's helped heaps. I know it looks bad shit, but I don't really care. When it's cocked, I think it's 8.5, maybe 9 inches across when it's cocked. So, you know, people say, oh, they don't like these. I mean, yeah, they're scratched and shit, but, you know, they're metal. They'll be fine as long as you don't bend them. Yeah, so when it's cocked, it's super compact, which I really like, because you're going through scrub and whatnot. I put the camo tape on just because I've had chamois, you know, I've had fallow literally staring at me. And if this was all black, you stick out like a sore thumb. There's no denying it. So, bit of extra cam. Doesn't go amiss. Probably the stock was a bit overkill. Don't know why I put it on there. Probably take that off because it doesn't really need to be on there. It's tucked into my shoulder. What else? Oh yeah, the stirrup. I like the stirrup on it. It folds out into a bipod, so you can have it out here, or once you're cocked, you can have it all the way folded in, tucks underneath here. This is the foregrip of the EK blade, because the foregrip that came with it split. I don't know why. I don't know if maybe I tightened the screws too tight, but it's split down the middle. So I use this one now, and then I've got a tiny little stubby grip on the EK blade now. I might try the stubby grip on this, but you know, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. It's got a little thing here. Oh, sorry, that's a safety catch. That around the other side, it's got this little switch here. So if you want to decock it, you can flick that up. It thinks it's got a bolt in. You can flick that up, push it to fire, and then hold the cocking rope out. Pull the trigger. Job's good. The cocking rope comes with a cradle, so you can't like get it wrong. Do you know what I mean? You can't put the hooks too far apart or anything. The cradle sits over there, clips on both sides, tight up to the rails, and then the cradle goes up. And then, yeah, another thing with the EK blade, once I had a bolt in, all I'd have to do is carry it upside down or sideways or anything, and the bolt would bounce and it'd fall out and whatnot. And the quiver, the bolts would fall out, but we'll get back to that. This is like got a little ball bearing. A little ball bearing there on a spring, doink, doink. And that ball bearing, bolt goes in, gets stuck under the ball bearing, holds it real tight. I really like that. Other crossbows have this weird little bit of fiberglass, whatever it is, and comes down here and it bounces, and you scrub just gets stuck. You get shit stuck all in there all the time. It's just fucking annoying. I don't know if you can hear me, the wind shit. But yeah, scrub gets stuck in this weird, the tongue thing that sticks down. This is heaps better design. This is great. Yeah, dampers and all that crap. I'm not sure if these do anything. Do you know what I mean? I don't really know enough about crossbows. Yeah, the quiver is actually real tight, like as in the bolts don't fall out as easy. You have to really push them in there. So I said they don't fall out easy. I've got 3 bolts because I lost one today in the scrap. But ignore me for that. Yeah, that's basically the crossbow I use, and then I'll just quickly show you my other gear, like rangefinder and binder harness and all that. 2 secs.